I feel like I owe you a little bit of an explanation. If you've been with us for a while, thanks so much for watching. If you're new here, my name's Jason Kirchie. Thanks for coming. You can support us by subscribing. A couple of weeks ago, I released a movie, it's a rig walk around movie about a Unimog. This particular vehicle was extremely fascinating to me. It was very intriguing to me and I wanted to share that with you. Today I have a walk around movie of the Team4Runner, 4Runner. If you're not following Team4Runner on Instagram, you should be. He's got a lot of really great images, and then he also has an account for his, Isaac that is, has an account for his specific truck, Team4Runner Overland. I've been in communication with him for a long time. I'm pretty familiar with this truck. Isaac's done some cool things to his rig. I certainly picked up a lot. Hopefully you get some good ideas from this too. Isaac with Team4Runner, he's like the man behind this, like, you've created a pretty enormous brand, actually. He's got like 100-something thousand followers on Instagram, right?
Yeah, maybe total. 60, I think. 60-some on Instagram.
No, okay.
And then Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, maybe add them up. Maybe you're close.
Well, I mean, you're like famous in my eyes. And then he's got this amazingly, is this a TRD Pro?
Yep, 16.
Amazingly cool TRD Pro. And actually you have two brands now. So you got, is the Team4Runner brand, and now you have Team4Runner Overland.
Yeah, which is more of a build thread of this truck.
Right.
Was kind of the goal behind it.
So how did you get into all this Overland stuff?
Yeah, more of the off-road world and Toyota world. Started when I was a little kid. My dad's always driven Toyotas. I've probably owned 15 or 20 4Runners or Tacomas, I can put that there. And a year ago decided to...
Did you say you had 15 Toyotas?
Through high school, college.
Wow.
Kind of bought and sold them, old ones. Third gens, 99, 001s. Took a trip to Salt Lake City. Ended up doing some damage on the way back just because it was a long trip. It's an old 4Runner, a lot of miles. Bought this. Thought it was time to upgrade, so I've loved it so far.
And this is a 2016 TRD Pro.
TRD Pro.
So when you bought it, did you like order it, or was it just like there and you just said, I want that one?
I called maybe, oh man, 10, 12 dealerships across South Dakota, Iowa, Nebraska, trying to find a TRD Pro. And there was a dealership in southern Iowa that had a TRD Pro for sale, and I drove there, picked it up.
For these people that don't know much about the 4Runner TRD Pro, give me like a rundown of the specs that might be relevant to like off-roading, overlanding.
Totally. You're kind of looking at the same features as a 4Runner trail, or now they're called 4Runner off-roads. Right. TRD off-roads.
TRD, yeah.
But as far as a TRD Pro goes, it comes with a 1-inch upgraded Bilstein suspension. Comes with TRD Pro wheels, TRD Pro grill. Comes with hood scoop. Comes with upgraded leather seats with the red stitching. Some interior specs that are cool. Comes with obviously the upgraded 4-wheel drive system. Rear differential lock, just like the trail. With all your 4-wheel drive options up on top.
Well, you probably have crawl control as well, right? And you've got active terrain select, I believe.
Correct.
And for those of you that don't know, so you've got the rear locking differential. Crawl control is sort of like...
It's a computerized intelligent system kind of that was developed from the FJ when FJ started that in 07. Kind of transitioned over to the 4Runner, especially when the 4Runner came out in 10, this new body. Then obviously redesigned in 14 a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's the real deal. Now developed in the 3rd gen Tacomas. Yeah, I mean, it's a cool system. It really is.
Well, and that, and with Active Terrain Select, it actually makes you completely impervious to getting stuck. Just kidding. Would you believe, I actually have people that comment on our videos and are like, if you do this, and if you do this, and if you do this, you know it's impossible to get stuck, right? And I'm like, do you understand basic physics? Like, if your undercarriage is supporting the weight and you have no traction on the tires, none of that stuff works. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. But if you understand how to use that stuff, and I don't, but I'm still learning.
Yeah, I am
But
too.
if you get to a point where you kind of understand how to use it, you can use a lot of those tools to, you know, prevent yourself from getting stuck and also allow yourself to have self-recovery.
Yep.
And contrary to popular belief, 100% of the times you get stuck and you turn on crawl control, that does not mean you're going to get out. It only means sometimes you might get out.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so I want to talk about
Yeah.
improved performance. I
Yeah.
want to start out with your tires because I don't know much about Firestones, and I went with the BF Goodrich KO2s
Yep.
just because that seemed to be what everybody else was doing.
Totally. That's what I've always used. It's BFGs.
But why the Firestones? I'm sure they're a great tire, but why the Firestones?
Biggest thing is they're a brand new tire that just came out.
Okay.
Like just came out. I want to say in the last few months.
Okay.
So I was running the MT1 before this. I wanted mud terrains. So it was before FJ Summit. I wanted mud terrains. It's wet, muddy, right up in the mountains. So we're doing a little bit of work with Firestone, especially
So
with
these
these
are
new
mud
tires.
terrains?
Yes,
Okay.
mud terrains, and they're the new Firestone Destinations MT2s.
So why did you want mud terrains?
I've always had all terrains.
Okay.
Biggest thing is never had mud terrains. Wanted to try them.
Okay.
Yep.
So what have you seen with the mud terrains over the all terrains that you've liked or disliked?
I would say a dislike with the MT1s, which is the first version of these. They were kind of loud. They howled. A huge improvement with these tires. Not near as loud, half as loud on the road, which is big time.
So they're fairly quiet?
They're fairly quiet.
You expect some noise with the more aggressive tire tread, but
yeah, because they're so bulky. The other improvement with these MT2s is they come with all these grooves in them.
okay.
So a little bit better in snow, a little bit better in
Oh yeah.
icy conditions, because a mud train isn't necessarily known for that.
Right.
They're a little softer, which is nice. They last a little longer. As far as the tread, you know, wear and tear, I've already got 5,000 miles on these.
Okay.
Yeah, they're holding up nice.
Okay. Suspension.
So it's stock
Your
suspension.
tires.
on
So you
this
use
truck.
stock suspension
Yeah.
still? So no lift, nothing. It's the
Yeah.
stock TRD Pro
I
suspension.
have a lift. So I've got a 2-inch lift.
Okay.
Everything's through Toy Tech.
Okay.
So it's actually just a spacer in the front.
Okay.
So it's stock Bilstein TRD Pro suspension. Spacer in the front, and then an 898 rear coil from Old Man Emu.
So that's the heavy dude? Is
Heavy
that the heavier
duty.
one? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So I just put that on mine as well. So when you say spacer, so
Yeah, you can see it. It's this. So you got the top, and you also got the bottom. So total, it's two inches.
okay. So there's a spacer like this at the top, and then there's
There
something
is.
like that at the bottom.
Yep, you remove everything, you take it out, you compress it, you throw it in, and you put it back on.
Okay.
Definitely next on the list is 100% suspension. Probably suspension and uppers.
What's the reason behind upgrading something like bump stops?
Yeah, so especially when you put a lift and big tires on, these trucks come with tiny little rubber pads in the back and rear.
Okay.
And those are the bump stops. So when you hit your axle, bang, it hits it. Especially when you upgrade suspension, you get that travel going. That's a huge reason, and it also pushes up against that axle, so it kind of avoids that essentially. What I ended up doing is swapping out the front and rear bump stops. Lots of feedback, lots of looking on the internet for reviews and what other 4Runner folks are using, and I decided to go with Timbren Industries. So far, been super impressed. The rear axle's been totally flexed, and that bump stop really hits, totally avoids noise. It adds travel. I've been impressed so far. So.
Your rack.
So it's manufactured in Bend, Oregon. It's really similar to a 4Runner. It's a smaller company. It's a really good rack, to be honest. I love it. I've had 3 of them, so I had them on my old 4Runners as well. They bolt right into the stock 4Runner rails, and then I had to drill in the front. So there's 2 holes on each side. The whole thing's aluminum. All the mounts are stainless steel. All the corners. So you got these are all stainless steel corners.
Okay.
Everything is what would you call it? Modular.
Okay.
So it's all bolt on.
Yeah.
You can get them that come together. You can get them that
So see, you have your track here. What size is this track?
extrusion. Oh, it's 5/16. But overall, I love the rack.
Okay.
Sturdy, strong. There's no complaints.
I have notes that I'm going off
Yeah, no,
of.
that's
Tires,
good.
lift, rack.
Hopefully I'm doing okay. If you think I should be doing something else, just tell me.
You're doing great. I want to know about lighting.
Lighting, yeah.
Tell me all about the lighting, because I can tell you one thing, lighting has been something that I've been struggling with trying to figure out.
Yeah, same.
And I've just been like doing a little bit here. So sort of and I got this from Michael from Broken Spoke Overland though, actually. I do things as I feel like I think I'm gonna need them.
Totally.
Right?
I run Extreme everything.
Okay.
So Extreme LED 40-inch, single row.
Okay.
Bolts in I mean, perfectly. These are actually the stock mounts that come with the light.
Okay.
So I just drilled through to kind of make it flush.
Okay.
And I threw a piece of outdoor foam up top
Okay.
to get rid of the squeak.
Okay.
Kind of that like whistle.
So this is the light, this is the single row light that you were talking about.
Yep.
And then what do you have?
Yeah, go ahead, step up there.
So what did you use? Oh, you didn't use anything. That's in there. And then you just drilled a hole through their bracket.
Correct.
And then how did it mount up here?
So it goes right in, it drops into the extrusion. So just like this.
Oh, is there a rail?
There's T-slot.
Oh,
yeah,
got
there's
it.
a
So you have
T-slot underneath.
Okay.
Yep. It was like a 10-minute install.
Okay.
And it whistled going down the interstate. So I threw a piece of foam up top. Kind of a waterproof condensed foam.
Is it like
Double-sided tape.
the weather seal
Yep.
kind of stuff
Yep.
that you get on a door?
It's actually for marine use.
Okay.
Yeah, found it at Home Depot.
So I see you've got.
Yep, these are the brand new
Some ditch
stackers
lights.
they just came out with.
Okay.
So these are CBI ditch mounts.
Okay.
From CBI Off-Road, and then these are the new stackers, and they come with these mounts.
Okay.
You can actually this is kind of cool. You can actually undo this light. You can this swivels,
Okay.
and then you can also undo this, and the
Yeah.
whole thing swivels.
Okay.
With these CBI ditch light brackets, they do require a little cutting. Don't look at my cutting as an example.
Yeah.
CBI does a pretty good job with the install and examples online. And so yeah, I bought these and I had them probably in my garage for a few months until I got these lights. But yeah, I did have to cut. I just used a razor blade.
Yeah.
Cut right through. So because when you open the hood, then this kind of pushes against this.
Yeah.
So you got to open up a little room.
Oh, so when you open the hood,
Exactly.
can you open the? Oh, so it's attached to the hood.
It's-
Okay. I
So,
understand. I
yep,
see what you're saying.
these brackets bolt onto the two brackets right here underneath the hood.
I hear you, and I feel your pain in terms of like cutting.
Yeah.
But I guess one of the things that like I've been thinking about a lot is, it's the idea of this is my truck and I'm making it to work for what I want it to do, and I almost sort of like find these little imperfect personalizations is endearing. You know what I mean? Like, because it's like that stretch right there. That was mine.
Yeah.
I did
And
that.
you remember where it came from?
Yeah, you know, and okay, so you've got two pods,
Yep.
two light pods. You've got a 40. You got a
40-inch.
40-inch light bar up here at the top. What do you have here in the front?
30-inch. Same light, single row, same output, same switch. It's a 30-inch. It's integrated right into this C4 front bumper.
Okay.
C4 fabrication. Got the same one.
Yeah.
I love it. Absolutely thrilled with it. Been through water that's above my grill, so the whole light's been submerged multiple times.
So what about your high beams and low beams and fogs? Any upgrade there?
Nope, stock, 100%.
Stock. Okay.
Yep.
So I went with the Xenon Depot high low beam HID low beams,
Yeah.
and I've been really happy with them. This isn't intended to be a Xenon Depot plug, although they've been really good to me.
Sure.
I've been really happy with their product. I can certainly gladly endorse them for you.
Yep.
But okay, any other lighting? Any lighting on the side or back?
I do. So I have two cubes in the back. So these are pods from Extreme LED. Those are the first. That's actually the first lighting solution I ever bought in my life.
Really?
Yeah, never really been an LED guy until I moved to Colorado and I was doing trails at night. And I always kind of thought like the whole LED thing was kind of goofy. And I was like, actually, it is kind of the real deal.
Yeah.
These are floods, so light up camp, set up the tent, set up all the stuff. I've actually used them.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice. But yeah, and those just fit perfectly. They mount. CBI has a mount that's already in this bumper.
Okay.
So it was like a 5-minute deal.
Yeah.
Yep, and it wires. I have a cable that goes right alongside my frame.
Did you mention your brakes in
Yes,
that one?
I did.
So tell me what so does that include the rotors and
The rotors, just the rotors.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went with Sequence.
Okay.
They're specialty in rotors. Had a lot of recommendations and a lot of people tell me that I'm moving to Colorado. I'm gonna go four-wheeling a lot. I'm gonna be up and down in the mountains and shifting down and blah blah blah. Use slotted rotors. So I got a hold of Sequence and kind of asked what would be best and swapped those out actually a few months ago before I moved to Colorado.
Okay. So in terms of like braking, like let's say you're doing just like regular road driving.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think the braking experience is better?
I think the braking experience is a little better. Yeah, it's quicker stopping.
Okay.
And then you're also gonna reduce the wear and tear on your actual brake pads.
Right.
Because they're slotted, so they don't heat up near as fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never thought about that or even considered it.
Yeah, no, and I didn't either.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you think about upgrading your brakes in a sports car,
Totally.
but I mean, you know, this is a vehicle that you are putting increased pressure on. It would make sense to increase your brakes.
Yeah, plus they look good.
Tell us about your armor. What are you doing for protection?
So everything on here is C4 fabrication and CBI off-road. So as far as all the skids go, it's the full skid package. Front, middle, and rear, and gas tank skid. They're all aluminum and they're all powder coated. That's from CBI off-road. I installed those a few months ago, and along with that is my rear bumper. So it's not a full replacement, it's a cut, and it's a bolt-on rear bumper. It's steel. It comes powder coated, and it has the swing out arm with the table, the high lift jack mount, the shovel mount, the CB mount, and the tire mount. I think that's the 5, and it has a wired in light to light up the license plate. It has a joint, a swivel joint with bearings in it.
So let's go back to the skids. So you have A-arms as well, right?
Yeah, so
and that's not included in any of their packages. That's an add-on, right?
it's a CBI.
Right.
They're skids.
No, it's CBI, yeah.
Yeah, so they're bolt-on, so they just bolt right onto the lower control arms. Front bumper C4 fabrication. So I believe, you have the low bar as well?
I have the highest bar that they can
with
get.
the gussets.
With the gussets.
And I have the lowest bar. So there's also an option with no bar.
Okay.
I picked the lowest so you can really see the Toyota grill. Come to find out, you can see the Toyota grill really well with all of them. I actually went down to Caleb's shop, C4 Fabrication in Sturgis, South Dakota. Beautiful facility, and they installed it for me. I had the cut already done previously. I did that myself and kind of went down and they bolted everything in. I'm a Toyota guy. I've owned lots of Toyotas, so I just love the look of them right off the lot, especially these new 5th gens. Not that I wouldn't do a full bumper, but I love the look that it kind of keeps. It almost looks like it's stock right now. You know, I've always kind of said this is how they should come stock.
Tell me about your Fairlead and whatever that connector thingamajigger is.
Yeah, so the Fairlead and the winch line is from Factor 55. The winch line is Dobinson's. It's synthetic. Okay. And it's a Dobinson's 12,000 pound winch. Okay. Yep. And I got that directly from Dobinson's down in Miami, Florida. It's all cordless, so it's got a remote control. It also has a cord you can plug in, just in case that one's not working or you don't have it.
So talk to me a little bit about recovery. We just talked about the winch, and we just talked about you know, your Fairlead, and that's upgraded from. I mean, I imagine that's not the factory Fairlead it came with, right? The Fairlead and the Fairlead connector thingamajigger. What else do you?
I like that.
It's a technical term.
It is. I don't even know.
What else do you carry for recovery gear?
Yeah, so I have a 44,000 pound braking tow strap from Tractor Supply Company.
Really?
Yeah, I've had it since I was maybe I probably had it for a few years. I've had a couple different ones. I used to live in South Dakota, so I pulled people out of the ditch a lot. So growing up and when I got my first driver's license, I went to Tractor Supply and got a tow rope, and since then I've had a few of them. What
other sorts of recovery gear do you carry? You got the tow strap. I don't see a shovel up there. Do you carry a shovel? If you're going to be trail riding at least?
Yeah, so I have a Fisker shovel.
Okay.
I had some buddies that recommended it. That's what I always use. It's got the big orange plug on the end of the handle. That's steel. I've had it for years. It's all rusty now. I've used that multiple times, especially when it gets wet. You're in the fields in South Dakota where I've always been, or recently in Colorado. And especially, I mean, if you're camping too, it's nice to have a shovel, put out the fire, things like that. I do not carry traction boards. I have a set of Max Tracks. I don't carry them daily, I guess I should say. I've got a set that goes in the back. I also have a set of traction jacks. Biggest reason I carry the traction jacks, yes, they do help, but also for leveling. It's kind of nice for camping because they're about 2.5 inches aboard. So throw them underneath the tire and it's, you know, kind of a nice platform, I guess.
What about a high lift jack? Do you carry
I have a high lift jack too, yes. Only use that a few.
Oh, that's mounted on the
that's mounted on the CBI bumper.
So this last little section that I wanted to kind of like cover is camping.
Okay.
So, you know, you've got a rooftop tent. Yeah. Kind of walk through like your camping scenario, because I think you spend some time, you know, in the woods camping, right?
I try to.
I mean, that's the goal, right?
As much as I can do.
As much as possible.
I probably don't do it as much as I should.
Yeah.
But I do love it.
Do.
I love it. especially since I've moved to
Awesome. We're excited.
Denver. I try and get up to mountains every weekend, at least camp one night. I've done a couple where I camped 2-3 nights. I've always had the Adventure Series. It's my first rooftop tent ever.
Why the Adventure Series and not one of the other larger ones?
I don't know. I think Adventure Series for me because it sets up so quick.
Okay.
Only thing I don't like as much about it is it eliminates the roof space. It takes up the whole roof platform.
The entire rack, yeah.
The entire rack. Yeah, go ahead. The entire rack platform, which to me it doesn't bug me that much, but people that maybe don't have a rear bumper or don't have the cargo space might lean towards a high country edition or one of the more classic style tents you see. It's not a zip cover, it's an elastic and buckle cover, which I like. You can throw the cover on in like a minute.
What do you do for food prep?
If I got a scuttle,
Okay.
so usually, if I'm going with my buddies or whoever it is, go to the grocery store and pick up a bunch of stuff. Usually noodles is a big thing we pick up.
Yeah.
I have a little Coleman Camp Chef as well, a little stove, do noodles, usually cheese, Alfredo, something like that.
Okay.
I have a tub. It's not really an alu box, it's close to it. Just a tub, don't actually have it here, but it's a tub that I just fill everything up with.
Okay.
So usually go right before, fill stuff up.
Okay.
I've done the little camp prep packets, I've done things like that too. I don't know. For me, it's easiest to just go to the grocery store, get some food,
Yeah.
get some burgers, get some steaks.
And you prepare all that on the scuttle?
I do, scuttle and then my little Coleman cooker.
And then what do you do to refrigerate? Okay.
Yeah, I use Dometic as a refrigerator.
Okay.
I've had a Dometic for the last 1.5 years, and I've loved it. I just switched to one of their new fridges, and so far, absolutely no complaints.
What else? So you've got, sleeping bag would stay up in the tent.
Yep. So the cover's kind of nice. That's why I kind of like that elastic and buckle cover.
Actually, I got your card.
It's a titch bigger, so you can keep stuff in there.
I'll email you.
So I have, there's obviously a mattress that comes in it. It's comfortable, but got to add a little comfort. So I have a little egg carton.
Little foam pad.
Yeah, exactly. A little foam pad. I always keep it up there. I stitched a little, kind of nerdy, but I stitched a little sheet to it. So I bought a king size sheet, folded it in half, and stitched it on.
Okay.
Over
To the foam pad?
Yeah, over the foam pad.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I keep kind of a thicker quilt
Okay.
and a sleeping bag up there, always. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, he wasn't here yesterday when I was laying in it, and I thought it was really comfortable.
Oh, good.
So. This is Isaac. This is the Team 4Runner mobile. If you're not following Team 4Runner on Instagram, you need to go check them out.
Thanks.
The Team 4Runner brand it's exploded. Of course, they've got a website, team4runner.com as well. And if you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments.
Yes.
If you have any questions for Isaac, let him know in the comments below.
And follow Swell Runner.
Yeah, right.
He's the man. So,
Thank
hey,
you very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
your
Jason.
time.
Appreciate
Yep,
it.
It was awesome.
Of course.
Yep. If you like what we're doing, please support us by making sure you're subscribed to our channel. You can subscribe to us by clicking on that little circle with me right there. The second thing you can do is you can shop our merch store. We have all kinds of fun swag like t-shirts and patches and stickers and hats and hoodies and all kinds of crap like that. Plus the patches and stickers, we actually fulfill them ourselves, and the kids write a little thank you note in there. So it's kind of fun. They're totally involved in that. I appreciate you watching. Thanks so much, and thank you. Thank you. Bye.